What's up everyone, Ross Whitaker back on YouTube for part 2 of the review of the Android 2.3 update to the Atrix 4G. And again, I realize this is a bit late, but I figured it'd just be a nice little touch to put on my YouTube account. Okay, so this is where I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks of your phone that you may want to know, and it can be very helpful to you. Now, the number one trick I've heard about is the networking and your performance of the internet. And this has to do with wireless and networks. Now, once you get into networks, you jump onto mobile networks, set options for networks APNs, access point names, and you're going to see 3 different areas where you can select. You're going to see AT&T US, WAP.singular, excuse me. You're going to see AT&T US HSDPA phone, and you're going to see AT&T US Tether broadband. So when you are selected, normally your phone goes onto the HSDPA. And the thing is, if you switch over to AT&T US, you can actually see an increase of 3 times the performance out of your network. And to prove this to you, actually I really can't prove it because I'm on Wi-Fi right now, but if you're on HSDPA, you're about seeing about 2 to 3 meg downloads on your phone. Switch over to US, you could about see 3 to 4, maybe even 5 meg downloads in your phone. It's all about how the APNs are set up and which access point you're registered to. So that's one interesting tip about this phone. A couple other really neat things you can do with this thing is accessibility. Accessibility has things such as a screen reader. We can turn that on and I'll give you a demonstration. We also have voice readouts, which can get very annoying. I know if you have the iPhone, I can't stand that lady with that same monotone voice like this all the time. And so we have voice readouts. So I can turn this up a little bit so you guys can actually hear it. So we can select different things on here. Like, for instance, we'll go to Facebook. Not working how I thought it would. Honestly, shut up. So as you can see here, that is the basic overview of the screen reader. I don't think it's really that helpful because it actually does more hurt than it does help, in my opinion. So we're gonna go ahead and turn that off before I get annoyed and I quit this video. Okay, so that's not my favorite. Okay, so we can do a couple other things. I'll give you an overview of how to use the settings here. We have your wireless networks, what I just showed you, APNs, you can get into Wi-Fi networks there, call settings. Now, one other thing you might want to look into on this is your microphone sensitivity, noise suppression. You can adjust your background noise. I have it set to high because normally when I'm talking to someone, I'm in a background with a lot of noise, so it could be in my driveway talking to people, and we have trucks going by our house. And the high setting will suppress most noises. I've been into an area, actually a concert, and talked to one of my friends, and they can barely hear the background when it's set to high. So I think that's great for 2 mics on this phone, not 3, but 2. So it is pretty incredible that 2 mics can cause that much noise cancellation. We have a couple other things, caller ID readout, TTY mode for hearing aids. I never use that because I'm not deaf. Noise suppression, I just went over that. HAC mode settings, which is for hearing aid compatible device settings. Auto answer will answer your phone automatically after about 2 or 3 rings. I don't see the purpose of that, because if you aren't going to answer your phone anyway, then why have it answer it for you? We have show Dialpad here called forwarding. So like you're on vacation somewhere, you want to forward it to a different number and a different email, or not a different email, a different phone number, you can go onto that and forward it directly to your voicemail, I believe. Additional settings, nothing much here, caller ID and call waiting. And right now I have that set to on because I hate when someone beeps in on me when I'm in the middle of a conversation. I like to finish what I'm talking or who I'm talking to, then call the person back. So that's your options for that. We're going to go into the display now. The display just runs you through brightness, auto-rotate screen, which will rotate your screen automatically for you. Animation, which will, like whenever you're switching over from like internet to a different app to Facebook, it'll give you that little transition, pretty neat effect. And if you turn it off, it'll save your battery quite a bit, even though this does have a 1930 milliamp hour battery. That will increase your battery life quite a bit. We have wallpaper settings, so you can set the phone's background wallpaper. You can also do that from the menu button, which is on the bottom left, the very first one. You have your notification LED light, which will blink whenever you get an email, message, phone call, or Facebook alert, I believe. Also, something I found interesting was in-pocket detection right here. So you turn this on, it uses a proximity sensor, and once you put this in your pocket, it'll kill the screen automatically. So I found that quite interesting. The only thing that is a problem is the proximity sensor is constantly on. You can actually see a little red light, little laser inside there detecting. And I don't know what that can do to your battery, but I'm going to guess it can probably impact it quite a bit, so I wouldn't recommend using that for a long period. Next up, we have Battery and Data Manager. First off is data delivery. You can control how and when your device syncs data. And if you're using a prepaid account or you want to watch your internet, I would not recommend using background data at all, because this phone syncs quite a bit for, say, like Facebook updates, your MySpace updates, your Twitter, and different other things too, such as your email. And if you're using this phone on a prepaid account, then you're out of luck. I wouldn't even use it, because you can run yourself over 4 gigabytes easily. That's what I do every month. And then we have data roaming, which unless you want a huge charge from AT&T, don't use it. Data enable, which will enable the network over AT&T. You can disable that at any time you want. Email and corporate sync and social applications are just other little things we really don't need to get into. Battery mode. This is next up. So you have 3 different profiles. You have you have maximum battery saver, nighttime saver, and performance mode. Maximum battery saver will really limit the background updates and background syncs to a very limited level. So you should save a good bit of battery. Actually, I made it about 10 to 12 hours on that profile with moderate to heavy use. Nighttime saver is basically a normal setting. It's decent battery life, nothing too bad. Performance mode, which is about insanity, it actually makes the phone a lot quicker. It syncs whenever it wants to, whenever you get any updates without your permission. And absolutely no battery savings, high performance. Your phone will be very lightning quick. I'll give you a demonstration, because I feel like it. So let's see this. As you can see, we have a huge difference in performance with performance mode on. So that will definitely eat your battery. Not very quick, because like I said, that does have a high capacity battery. But I normally leave it on nighttime saver. That way it doesn't use too much battery, but it's a decent amount of performance. You could also customize your own battery saving profile. And that's for more of an advanced user. You want to get the most out of your device doing that. You can do so by clicking the right icon that has the gear on it, which is also settings. You can adjust your display brightness, your peak hours, your turn off data after. I have it set to 15 minutes right now in case I'm not using the phone. Off peak hours. You can do many different things with the power profiles on this phone. Next up and last in this is battery usage. It will tell you what is killing your battery the most, and it's always more than likely going to be your screen. And actually, weirdly, it's voice calls. So apparently I've been calling a lot of people today. So as you can see there, the voice calls are definitely killing my battery. Mostly your screen will. So I'd recommend leaving your screen to a lower brightness. And the phone is quite visible in high light conditions, so I wouldn't have to worry about that a whole lot. Okay, let's jump right over to location and security. Nothing too much in here. You have your options for using wireless networks. Location determined by Wi-Fi. Actually, that's location preference. Now, this will save your battery. Instead of using the GPS chipset, it will use cell towers to approximately guess your location. Accurate to about, I'm not sure how much, but it is kind of accurate. And if you're looking pinpoint accuracy, I would click on Use GPS Satellites right here. It will eat your battery more, but it is accurate to street level. Calibrating your compass, I would recommend doing that probably as soon as you get your phone for more accurate direction and overall better performance on your apps for GPS and everything. Next up is set up screen lock. You can use this. You can use a certain pin, and you can also use a biometric finger scanner on your device. And actually, that's a very neat touch, because if you are one of those people that have private information, I don't know what your information is, but that actually does come in handy for a lot of things there. And the only phone that actually has a biometric finger scanner currently. Next mode is allow Bluetooth bypass. Allow voice commands to be launched via Bluetooth. So if you want to push the call button on your Bluetooth headset, you can make a voice command. And nothing much else right there. You can clear your stored fingerprints if you want to reset your profile on that. And I don't know why I just kicked me out of the settings. Phone's just weird. Okay, after that we have accounts. I'm not going to get into that a whole lot. That's more personal information. Applications, pretty much the same thing. Privacy also. Accounts just tells you what accounts you have on your phone. You can add a new accounts. You can remove your accounts using that. Applications, you have the option to remove apps to manage them. You also can choose unknown sources. Now here's the catch Motorola put into this. Unknown sources allow installation of non-market applications. Now, it does say that, but actually, if the app is not on the Android market, it will not let you download it or install it to the phone. So again, you are basically locked in a way where they're letting you do it and you're not letting you do it. So it's